Man, everything is about Charlie Kirk, Coach Colin TV. What's going on, guys? Everything is about Charlie right now. I'm on X right now, and everything, including Candace. Candace went nuts. Not even nuts. She made a full fiery video about it. I think it was a post accusing Bill Ackman of pushing Charlie because of his opinions on a certain country. I think it was Philadelphia or something like that. Yeah, it was like, because if you don't support Philadelphia, like you got a big problem coming your way. You gotta support Philadelphia. Everybody knows that. And if you don't support Philadelphia, you're a bad person. You're a very bad person. Okay, you're gonna be anti-Philadelphia. So she was suggesting that Bill Ackman, I know someone in the comments could be like, "What's going on with Philadelphia?" You gotta read between the lines around here. Um, but but it's interesting. She's saying that Bill Ackman had like an intervention with Charlie, and now Bill right away. Actually, and Bill, if you don't know, he's like this billionaire dude, big Trump supporter. And then Bill actually answered and he said, "That's not true." And then Candace is like, "I have the text messages. So all of you can just come forward and just be honest now." So apparently she's just like, she doubled down. She's like, "I'm going to release everything and do it. Don't even wait. Don't even wait. Are you crazy? Don't wait. They're going to find out where you're at. What are you talking about?" I'm just saying it's possible, right? So Candace is doing that, you know. FBI. I just saw a video of Dan Bongino. Do I have that video still? Ridiculous. You know what I mean? This is just silly. Silly.
When I was up there on
Dan,
the
do we have
roof.
any idea? Do we have any idea why the roof wasn't covered by security?
I don't, Megan, and as someone in the security space, it's fairly easy for me to Monday morning quarterback anyone. I have done events with Charlie, quite a few, as a matter of fact, and I've always found his security team to be very professional. Did a Turning Point event where I joked one time that they had better magnetometers than I saw in the Secret Service. Why in this case was the roof uncovered? I can't say. I think in the future, at political events, regardless of who's speaking, I think there's going to be a significant change in security posture going forward.
You mean now that you mean like when the president got shot and there was no one on the roof because the roof was too slopey, so they put other guys on a slopier roof because that roof was more slopey and it made sense there, and those guys on the roof didn't see guys on the roof? Is that what he's talking about? Things should have changed from then? Okay. All right. What are you talking about? Man, Dan Bongino used to have a lot of things to say. You remember those times, guys? Oh, don't hate me because I'm talking about Dan Bongino. He used to have a lot of things to say, and now he doesn't have much to say. Before, I wish you could go back in time and ask him, "Hey, why if somebody ends up losing their life to a gunman on a roof, why would there be no one on the roof?" I'm sure he'd have such a different answer, such a different, more extensive answer. He'd give us experience and backgrounds and how things should be set up, and now he just doesn't know. So weird. So weird. Interesting. Higher position in life, knows less things. That's an odd combination, don't you think? Isn't it a weird combination that you move up in life, right? You're a podcaster, okay? And then you move up, you're deputy director, and then you know less things. Isn't that weird? Oh, man. I think it's weird, but I'm not sure. Yeah, just Philadelphia for you. Just kidding, just kidding. I love Philadelphia. Listen, I've always supported the Philadelphian people. I have. Okay. I always go to Kensington, Philadelphia, and I always kiss the wall. I do. Have you never been to Philadelphia? Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Stop laughing. Yeah, that's Dan Bongino. Why wasn't anybody on the roof? I was talking about this before. How do you not have anyone on the roof? You're in a place. This is the place where he's at. This is the roof. It's just right in front of it. And no one thought, hey, let's have someone go on the roof. No one. You know how crazy that seems? Have you ever seen when Charlie's doing his thing? You ever seen it? There's security guards around him, right? And this is to make sure, they're scanning the crowd. That's what I assume they're doing. They're completely scanning the crowd, nonstop, just scanning. And then there's a bunch of people behind the tent. There's a bunch of people around. Just one guy. Hey, you're on bitch duty today. Go up to the roof. I don't know how. Go figure it out. Bye. Go on the roof. Go buy a drone. Go fly the drone over the roof to make sure no one's there. It's just, I don't know much, okay? I know that if I had security, the first thing I'm going to say to them, is there anyone on that roof? And if they look at me and they say, I don't know, they're all fired. That's me. That's me. I'm a tough boss, I guess. I'm a tough boss. Not saying it's Charlie's fault, not at all, but come on, man. It just looks so crazy the more you, and there's so this Charlie's passing has officially reached JFK levels. I see people, they're doing videos, they're like, you got to watch, there's a little white speck here. Look at the guy, touches his cap, touches here. One guy touches his arm, leans forward. There's a guy over there. He didn't clap. If you go back 10 minutes when Charlie's tossing out the hats, there's two people there. They didn't clap. Okay. And then you see that guy when Charlie, and then he picks up. There's all sorts of, now people are like, came from this way, came from that way, looks like an exit. Oh, there's everything now. It officially reached JFK levels, which is sad because it means that there is so much clutter that it's going to be impossible to decipher the truth ever. And I think that's by design, quite honestly. Quite honestly, I do. Wild. Some people are like, it's the kid. The kid got caught, which makes sense. I mean, the kid did jump off the roof. I mean, like, say whatever you want. There was a guy on the roof and he did jump off and run away and apparently told his dad he did it. I don't know. Like that's actually a pretty solid story. And then there's other people that think it was Philadelphia. They think Philadelphia did it. I don't know if you've been hearing. A lot of people think it's Philadelphia. So, I don't know for sure, but I can see all angles. I said a long time ago, a video I was doing about the president, and I was like, it's so hard to know what happened with his shooter because it was so hard to pinpoint who set this whole thing out, who did this to him, because you just knew when it came to the president, he pissed off so many people. There was defense contractors, and there was the left, and there was the right, and there was this people in this country, and this. There was all these different things that he had done to piss people off, so you couldn't tell exactly who it was. And Charlie kind of has that same thing. He does have the alphabet community that doesn't like him. He also has a portion of the black community that doesn't like him. He also has a huge number of just people on the left. He actually has people in the government who are Democrats that don't like. There's so many different people that don't like him that it's hard to just point to one thing. Oh man, it's a wild little thing, you know. Who knows who did it? Lot of things pointing to Philadelphia. You know, Charlie's opinion on Philadelphia was changing. It was changing. It was morphing. It was becoming different, but not the people of Philadelphia, right? The people of Philadelphia are good people, but he was starting to not like the government of Philadelphia. Not even not like, he was just criticizing, like everybody should be able to do, right? Of any place, including Philadelphia. And that opinion was but again, it's not like he became Nick, not like he became Candace. So it's like, why would that happen to him? You know? The whole thing's wild. The whole thing's wild. Yeah, it's sad that his wife is dealing with this. I got to be honest though, if his wife's going around, I assume she has security. I think she should fire all the security that was there that day. That's just me. You know? Like, hey, you know, my husband, yeah, no, you've always done a great job, but my husband is not alive. So we're going to go in a different direction than you guys, okay? Just putting it out there. I'd get rid of all of them. Are you kidding me? All of them. All of them. Every single one of them. Ugh. What are we talking about here? But it's like, who do you even turn to at that point? You go to, you know, the family's good friends with JD. You go to JD, the next thing you know, you have the same people that were with Trump that day, and they're like, "Oh, I can't get it in the holster." You don't want those people. The thing about it is, if the roof is too slopey, we won't be able to defend you. You don't want those people. So who do you even go to? Security, man. It's crazy to even have to think about security, just as a person, because they even have to think about it with her for sure. Because now she's not taking Charlie's place, but she's not letting the company change. She wants the same momentum that it's had. She wants that and more. So she definitely needs security, right? I wonder what it's going to be. You know, a lot of people are pissed off that Ben Shapiro, you know, big Philadelphia supporter. Ben Shapiro is he's talking about picking up the bloodstained mic and going. And I actually like the message that he had when I first saw it, because he was like, if you think you're going to stop us from talking, you're going to silence us, like you own these venues, like you own these campuses, he's like, F you. And I was like, wow, I've never heard Ben Shapiro swear before. I was like, this is wild. I like it, but he's definitely can't replace Charlie. You know, there's no, he can't do that. You know, there's just no way. But he can do his own thing. I think everybody who has the ability should do their own thing and go to campuses and have these open debates. I think the more entities that we have doing that kind of thing, the better. You know, and I know a lot of people don't like Ben Shapiro because of his views on Philadelphia and his support of Philadelphia. Sometimes, you know, Ben supports Philadelphia more than he supports the rest of America. You know what I mean? It's weird. He has this affinity for Philadelphia. But he's still good with conservative talking points. He's still good to have back and forth with people. He's a little more combative than Charlie was. Charlie was a little more relaxed. It was like Charlie Kirk was trying to figure out where you were at, and he was trying to meet you there. He's trying to meet you where you're at and then extend the hand and then slowly like pull you over, like gently. That's what he was trying to do, and he was succeeding. Ben is a little more forceful. Ben's like, there's a big guard up, and nothing you say is going to penetrate this guard. So, but again, I want to see Candace go do it, honestly. Bulletproof glass all around her, of course. because Philadelphia will come after her, you know. Bulletproof glass all around her. People are gonna be like, what is Philadelphia? Philadelphia, man. Yeah, just saying. Bulletproof glass all around her, but she should be doing it. She should definitely do it. She because she has that, and you know, some people don't like it, but she has that Christianity point. And although she might be Catholic, but she still has the Christian values, right? You need that in America. I know some people might not like hearing that, but you do. You do. It was built on that. So you need to get back to that. You know why you need to get back to that? You know why? I don't know. And I've noticed this even back when I was just a person that meditated and I was into Buddhism and Hinduism and stuff like that, you know, years ago, 20 years ago. You know why you need to get back to it? Because when you move away from your spiritual nature and spiritual practices, religious practices, scripture, the word, whatever it is that you do, you notice that when you first immerse yourself in them, your life gets a lot better. Life is like great. And then because life's great, you stop doing them. And then your life gets worse, right? Things start to not make sense. Your mind's a little more cluttered. You don't feel as protected, you know? And then when you're feeling bad, you go back to them. And then the cycle just continues. I think the same thing happens with a nation. I think if you're built on certain values, you have to keep those values in mind. You have to keep returning to those values. You know, every day I'm in the Word. Every day. Every day it's the top app that I have. It's the 100% top app that I have, the Bible app. It's right here. It's every day. I'm always on it. I always get to see it. Look, it says right here. So commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these words of mine. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Deuteronomy. I'm saying it so wrong. 11:18. Recently, I've been like listening to like Matthew, the book of Matthew and stuff like that. This is not an ad or anything. I'm just saying you got to immerse yourself in it. And when I don't, I notice things get worse. And then when I go back to it, things get better. And I think the same thing happens to a nation. It was founded on it. It became the greatest nation in the world because of those values and because of those values echoing through the entire country, through the entire people. And then you move away from it and things get tremendously worse. You see on the left a lot of godless people on the left, a lot of godless people in society. And then guess what happens when you move back towards God? Guess what happens when you have somebody who immerses themselves in the Word? You get a Charlie Kirk. You know? Things get better for a nation when they move towards God and not away from God. If you're moving away from God, you're moving towards something dark. A lot of people think, oh, well, you know, it's not for me. Oh, okay, that's nice. It's better for the nation. Definitely better for the nation. And that's America. That's Canada. That's the UK. That's Ireland. That's Scotland. These places all have something in common, you know? but it's good. It's good to move towards those values. And I'm just saying, I only bring that up to say Ben Shapiro doesn't really have those values, you know? He has different values, which, you know, some of them do overlap. Some of them do connect, but not all of them. And the main one is Christ. Christ being at the focal point. That's I think that's a necessary thing. I think it'll help quite a bit, you know? So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this whole thing. There's a lot going on. It's all about Charlie, man. People don't want to let it go, you know? And it's funny, I was just on a podcast today and we were talking about this and afterwards. You ever watch podcasts? You know, the talks that there should be a podcast that is just the talks that you have afterwards, because those talks, oh, Oh man, we were talking about Philadelphia, and we were talking about Philadelphia, and we were just talking about the whole thing with Charlie Kirk and how some people, they go with the official story as quick as possible because that provides closure, and you want the closure right away. But what I was saying, and I think I even said it on the podcast, is that people, like, you don't have to stop thinking, right? And that's what people try to do when it comes to scenarios like this. They go, okay, no more thinking about it. We have the official thing, no more thinking. But no, like, let people think. Let them start looking at each thing and doing their little slowdowns of everything. Let them do that. That's a good thing. But we were having this conversation. We kind of came to the realization together that it's kind of like, it's like reopening a wound for a lot of people because it hurt so many people, right? It affected them emotionally so much that they have this official story of what's happened. That's good enough. Let's move on. And then when someone else says, no, you got to look at this, you got to look at this, you got to look at this, it like reignites it. And they're like, now I have to be mad again. And now I have to feel lied to. And now I have to feel like the justice isn't served. And, nobody likes those feelings. But it's a necessary thing to get to the truth. And the thing is, the official story definitely could be the truth. But there is still a process that people have to go through, have to run through in order to know if that's the truth, Like, you find the truth, and then it's like, okay, so now let's look at all the other angles. If none of these other angles check out, right? You check the Philadelphia angle heavily, right? If none of those other angles make sense, then okay, go back to the official one. Okay, that makes the most sense. But you have to go through all that. And we live in a society now where it's, just listen to Cash. Listen to Cash and Dan. And I'm sorry if that hurts some people, but you don't just listen to them. You don't have to. There's other people out there doing just as much research. There are. And they're looking into it, and they're finding things, and they're talking about parts of it that, those two won't talk about. Who knows what's going to happen with those guys? Those guys might come forward and be like, actually, the whole thing that you saw, that was all a hoax. It was a left-wing hoax, actually. And Dan's going to come. He's going to be like, yeah, the thing about it is, if there's something there, I'd tell you. Well, the thing is, Pam says she has a bunch of information about this on her desk, so we're just waiting for Pam to find her desk and figure out all the information she has on her desk. And Pam comes on, and she's like, I have lost my desk. My desk is gone. Case closed, everybody. Can only take that so many times. So people don't want to listen to all that. You can't blame them. You don't want to listen to people talk about things on their desk and they don't know why the roof wasn't this and that. I'm going back to this. The guy worked for Secret Service at some point, didn't he? What are you talking about? At one point, he wanted to be Trump's head of Secret Service. I just don't know about the whole roof thing. I mean, I've worked with them before, and I don't want to make any assumptions. What? Just tell us from experience, guy. Dan, just tell us from experience. Is it weird no one's on the roof? Because when the whole thing happened with Trump, Dan had all the things in the world to say about no one being on the roof and how crazy that was. But for this thing, now that he's a part of this whole engine, now all of a sudden he doesn't know why no one's on the roof and he can't say it. He doesn't, I don't know. Umming and awing, man. I don't remember him stammering and stuttering through things when he had his podcast, man. He used to talk real good. What happened, man? That's what happens when you're thinking of what to say. Okay, all of a sudden, ums and ahs. Like Peter Thiel when he got asked about humanity. Should humanity live on? Oh, man, you're not telling the truth. And that's the thing about these guys. I got eczema in my ear. You know that? It's ridiculous. It's itchy. That's the thing about all this. Just they'd be better off just not saying anything. You know? Like, don't worry about going on Megyn Kelly's podcast. Don't worry about it. There should be somebody in the administration. These guys are like, oh, I'm going on Fox today. Oh, I'm going on this thing. Oh, I'm going on this. What do you have to say? Oh, well. Oh, you don't have anything to say? Oh, go back to your office, bro. You're good. You're not going on Megyn Kelly's show today. What if they ask you about the roof, Dan? Go back to your office. Okay? This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. Sad. But it's like I said, it's JFK level now. And I have no idea what's going to happen from here on out. And it seems like Candace is the one. She's the one who's willing to talk about it, has the information and has the platform. It's a hard mix. And, no matter how you feel about her, it's a respectable mix. I've said it about Joe Rogan so many times. And when Joe Rogan brings something up, he doesn't have to. Joe Rogan could talk to beekeepers for the rest of the year. Just be like, another beekeeper. This is really crazy, Jamie. You hear that about hornets, Jamie? Jamie, pull up blue hornets. They're blue, you said? Wow. Can you pull up blue hornets, Jamie? He could do that for the rest of the year. Not have to talk about anything. But he doesn't. He brings things up that he doesn't really have to be bringing up. He doesn't need a news article written about him, but it'll happen because he decides to talk about the thing. It's a hard mix to find people who have the big platform and also have the balls to bring up the uncomfortable things. And Candace has that. She's locked and loaded. So we'll see what she has to say about Philadelphia. I'm sure, Candace, she's always talking about Philadelphia, right? That's an ongoing code on this channel forever. I don't care who likes it, who does it. I'm always going to say that. Philadelphia, man. Because that's what some people think, Philadelphia did him in. But, I won't say there's no proof, but you need hard proof. And you'll never have the hard proof. But all we have is the evolving opinions of a man and his thoughts on the government of Philadelphia. Anyways, guys, that is Coach Colin TV. This is like a morning show. I'm sending this out in the morning, so hopefully that helped you out a little bit. I'm still tweaking it. I'm going to start going live on this channel because I'm just having talks like this. I'm going to start going live on this channel a lot more, and we'll see what that turns into. But we hit 15,000. Thank you so much for the subscribers. Really appreciate that, guys. And I'm out of here.